Sometimes life warns us in advance. It's not always loud, it's not always frightening. Sometimes it's just a sign, a rule, a seasonal restriction, or expert advice. But people tend to think of danger as something abstract, something that happens to others. We overestimate control over the situation and underestimate the risks. The stories you'll hear today have one thing in common: people saw the warning signs. They knew about the risk, but they decided they could walk around it. Colin Nathaniel Scott was born in 1995 in Oregon, USA. He grew up in an average American family, was active and loved nature and traveling. Friends describe him as a friendly, calm, and inquisitive person. He was interested in technology, spent time outdoors, and appreciated the opportunity to discover new places. In June 2016, Colin and his sister went on a trip to Yellowstone National Park. Millions of tourists visit the park annually, known for its geysers, hot springs, and volcanic activity. However, it is also considered one of the most dangerous natural areas in the United States due to its geothermal pools, where water temperatures reach and exceed boiling point. Strict warnings are posted throughout the area. Leaving the wooden walkways is prohibited. The soil can be thin, and beneath the surface lies boiling water and acid. On the day of the tragedy, Colin and his sister wandered off the official trail in the Norris Geyser Basin area. According to investigators, they were looking for a spot to take a hot bath away from the crowds. They wandered approximately 60-70 meters from the designated trail. The soil in the geothermal area often appears stable, but it forms a thin crust over the bubbling springs. At some point, the ground beneath Colin collapsed. He fell into a thermal pool with temperatures of approximately 90-95 degrees Celsius. His sister tried to help and immediately called rangers, but the spring's conditions made rescue impossible. The following day, rescuers attempted to recover the remains, but were unable to do so completely due to the high temperature and acidity of the water. Heavy rain and the collapse of the pool's edge complicated the work. Ultimately, the park officially acknowledged that recovery of the body was impossible. Following this incident, Yellowstone administration once again stepped up its public information campaigns about the need to strictly adhere to regulations. This tragedy became one of the most talked about incidents in the park's history, and served as a reminder that warnings in such places are written in the blood of previous mistakes. Timothy Treadwell was born in 1957 in New York City under the name Timothy Dexter. He grew up in a well-off family on Long Island, played sports, and according to friends was ambitious and charismatic in his youth. After graduating from high school, he moved to California, dreaming of a career in acting. However, life took a different turn. He experienced serious personal crises, struggled with addictions, and felt lost. In the late 1980s, Timothy traveled to Alaska for the first time and saw grizzly bears. He described this experience as a turning point in his life. He began calling himself a bear conservationist, spending summer after summer in Katmai National Park, camping near their habitats, and filming documentary footage. He claimed to feel a connection with the animals, naming them and referring to them as friends. Over 13 years, he spent thousands of hours among grizzlies, often coming within a few meters of them. National Park Service staff repeatedly warned him about this behavior. He remained in an area of high bear activity, violated food storage regulations, and refused to maintain a safe distance. Autumn was considered especially dangerous when animals become more aggressive due to food shortages before hibernation. In 2003, Timothy decided to stay in the park until October, later than usual. This decision contradicted expert advice. Autumn was considered especially dangerous when animals become more aggressive due to food shortages before hibernation. On October 5, 2003, one of the bears attacked Treadwell's camp. His girlfriend, Amy Huguenot, was with him. Both died. It was later determined that the attacking bear was exhausted and stressed. Following the tragedy, authorities killed several bears in the area to ensure safety. Treadwell's recordings from years of observation were used in the documentary Grizzly Man, which once again raised questions about the line between love of nature and dangerous overconfidence. His story still sparks controversy. Some see him as a passionate conservationist, others as a man who ignored the basic rules of survival. Meenakshi Murthy was born in India, trained as an engineer, and later moved to the United States. There she met Vinshu Vishwanath, and their relationship soon blossomed into marriage. The couple lived in New York, building their careers and enjoying an active social life. They worked long hours, but their true passion was travel. Over time, they created a joint Instagram page called Holidays and Happy Ever Afters. Their idea was simple: to inspire other people to travel and show the romance of life on the road. They were photographed against the backdrop of mountains, ocean, waterfalls, often choosing spectacular, dramatic angles. In an interview, Meenakshi said that social media can be dangerous if people start chasing extreme footage, and yet their own photographs were often taken on the edge of cliffs, where there is nothing between man and emptiness. In the fall of 2018, the couple traveled to California's famous Yosemite National Park. This place is known for its granite cliffs, panoramic views, and steep cliffs. One of the most popular spots is Tuft Point, an observation deck overlooking the valley. The cliff there is over 240 meters high. Signs warning of the fatal danger of falling are posted throughout the area. Some sections are fenced off, but a significant portion of the cliff remains open. Visitors can freely approach the very edge. Tuft Point has long been known as a place where tourists take spectacular photographs. The depth beneath their feet creates a striking visual effect. It's as if one is standing above an abyss. That's where Meenakshi and Vishnu headed on October 25, 2018. The weather was clear that day. The couple walked to Tuft Point like hundreds of other tourists. Witnesses later reported seeing them near the cliff edge. They didn't appear frightened or careless. Rather, they seemed focused on taking pictures. To get the best shot, they needed to get closer. The edge of a cliff in Yosemite isn't a level surface. The granite can be smooth, and in places the surface is slightly sloping. There is no protective edge, just space and wind. According to the investigation, at some point one of them lost their balance. Perhaps their foot slipped on the granite. Perhaps someone took a step back, not realizing how close the edge was. The investigation concluded it was an accident. They fell together. Their bodies were discovered several days later, after relatives reporting them missing. The rescue operation proved challenging due to the altitude and terrain. The story quickly spread across global media, with discussions centered on the risks of dangerous selfies, the pressure of social media, and the desire to capture the perfect shot. The National Park Service once again reminded visitors that the warning signs are not formally posted. Cliff falls occur in Yosemite every year, and most of them are caused by people getting too close to the edge. Their Instagram page has become a digital archive of their travels, beautiful views, smiles, romance, and almost every shot features the edge. There is no malicious intent in these stories. There is no crime in the usual sense. There is confidence that the danger can be circumvented, that the rules are an unnecessary precaution, but the warnings exist because someone has been hurt before. Signs, prohibitions, and seasonal restrictions are an attempt to save lives. Each of these people saw the signs. Everyone took a step farther, and it was this step that proved decisive. Sometimes the most important decision is to stop.